Yo, what's going on, Bro Talk Nation? It's your boy Eric here. Got my brother Jamarcus on, man. And tonight we are about to dive into another great episode. And we're still in the Wait series, guys. We going to 2022 with this thing. But tonight we're talking about Restore, right? Restore the Messy Project. And I'm telling y'all, this is about to be a great one because if you haven't been with us since 2020, I'm telling y'all about to hear some testimonies. You about to get this word. God got this big drip that he about to drip on us. And like we always say, we come to sit in your couch, your house, your chair, about to tear all that down, all them barriers down because God has a word. So, hey, you out there on YouTube, Facebook, you out there on Anchor or whatever you're hearing this on, please share, please like, please subscribe to the channels and like all our stuff because we're bringing what God needs to say. So, hey, I'm gonna turn it over to my brother Jamarcus. Hey, shouts out to all the Alabama fans. Roll Tide. Let's go, baby.
Man, here you go, man. Hey, what's up, Bro Talk Nation, man? Hey, disregard that. We're gonna edit it up out of there. But hey, man, we are back, man. It feels good to be back, man. Like my boy E said, yes, we're still kicking off the wait. That is a word until like 2022. So we're gonna keep that thing going, but we moving on to something new, and we're talking about Restore. And tonight, the message is the Messy Project, right? If you're on YouTube, man, please also hit the subscribe button so you can get the updated releases and notification from us. If you're following us on Facebook, hop over to YouTube too and subscribe. Just show much love as possible. Share this word, man. This good news is about to come out today, man. Hey, warrant has been served. We are already in your house tonight, man. I feel so good to be back. God is about to do something amazing here tonight. I can feel it already. I hope this word goes out to somebody who needs to hear it. But so you already, like you talked about it, bro. We're going into this new thing. We're talking about Restore. We got some testimonies and all this thing. So I hope you guys feel it. But I wanted to like turn it over to you real quick and ask you a question. Like, when you hear the word restore, bro, like what do you think about? Like, what comes to mind when you hear the word restore?
Man, when I think about restore, something that was taken away but now has been given back in a better form.
That's good. Okay, I like that. I like that. Like, if y'all like what he said was something was taken away and is given back, but pay attention to one key word he said. And you're gonna see it in the real definition when we come to it. He said it comes back in a better form, right? A better form, man. That's good. Like when I hear the word restore, bro, like what pops into my head is I think about old cars. It's the first thing that thinks about in my head because my favorite car is a 67 Chevelle, and I want it not new. I want it where I can do the work myself on it. And the first thing I think about when I hear restore, restoration is somebody working on an old car, right? Because you buy it old, but if you think about it, the person that's buying the car or looking at the car, they don't see the car as it is right there. They're buying it because they see what's going to be done to it once the project is done. Like once the restoring has happened. So they're buying into something without nothing, like without the outcome being there. Like if you know the Bible tells us faith is like literally like seeing what you don't see, right? Like that's what faith is. So like when I think of restore, that's what pops in my head is like somebody buying an old car, getting ready to, get that thing back on the streets so it can turn heads. Like that's what I think of, bro. But I broke down like the definition of restore in the dictionary, and it says to repair or renovate a building, a work of art. Keep that work of art in your head throughout the show because we're gonna touch on that later. A vehicle or other things so as to return it. This is where it got kind of tricky in the definition because you used to return it back to a better form or get it to a better form. The definition in like the dictionary says to return it to its original condition.
Okay.
Ah, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, in the definition, I wanted to make a point on two things. In the definition, it only says things. It kind of like tripped me out. Like it doesn't say people. Like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah. Yeah.
world
Yeah.
thinks that the only things that can be restored is things. But we know by the Bible that people can be restored. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
where we
Yeah.
at right now. We're gonna get in that right now.
Oh yeah.
But that ending sentence, bro, that it brings it back to its original conditions. I got stuck right there even before I started writing down the points for the podcast because if you think about it, so whatever's being restored has gone through something to make someone think that what it is right now ain't good enough to be out there.
Yeah.
So you telling me that either weather, either damage, or because it's been beaten down, but whatever it been through is now needing work.
Mm.
This ain't even a point, but are you at your original condition right now? Like right now, are you where your OG status is? Like most of us don't even know what our original condition is. Like
Yeah.
God had us set up from the day He blew breath in us. That was our original condition. But because of the weathers, because of the storms, because of the beat downs, because of the sun, now we need restoring to get back to our original condition, whatever that may be. You in the church, you out here doing, like doing like anything doing with God. You're not in your OG status. Like that
Yeah.
made me like so crazy because I'm thinking of register. Like when you restore something, like man, this thing about to be brand new. It's about to be whatever. But if I
Right.
go
Right.
to
Right.
restore a car, I'm only bringing it back to how it used to look before
Right.
it got to the auction. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
Big fact.
bro, that threw me off, dude. I'm gonna pause right there because, like, that threw me off, man.
Hey, so it's funny that you say we were talking about restoration, right? You were talking about cars, right?
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is old school Chevys, right?
Yeah.
It's something about when an old car has been sitting in the weather, it starts to take on damage on the outside. And it looks all like most people see an old damaged car, right? You'll be passed on on an old highway and you see the car out there sitting under the tree that collected dust and tree moss and juice and all kinds of stuff on the outside. But then usually when you go in there and you check out the inside, like the interior is not as bad. It can be restored, right? So that means you can go in and make a couple of touches on it and it'll look like new. I think that's the same thing that God does to us. Like when we're in this restoration process, like you have to go through a process in order to be restored. You have to get all the bad stuff sanded down off of you, right?
Yeah.
All the old teaching, all the old whatever you've been taught throughout your life, whatever experiences you had. And then He has to put this prime on you, right? Because now we got to get you ready to be restored. We got to get you ready for the paint job. We got to get you ready for the engine job, right? So a lot of people that restore cars, they always start on the inside first.
That's good, bro.
And that's what God does with us. He starts on the inside first. Whatever you've been through, hurt and hit on the inside, and people on the outside didn't see what happened to you.
Yeah, speak that. That's facts.
But it's the inside job that hit, that got changed, that got restored, that got work done on the inside. And then the last part of the restoration, you're going to see the outside. You're going to see the finishing works. But understand that it starts inside first.
That's good, bro. I like that. Yeah, you need to write that in the chat, bro, that the work starts in the inside. Like, I like that. Because, like, as you can see in the title, we're talking about a project. But this project is going to be messy. So tonight, that's what it's all about. We're going to give you points about the project, about, like, restoration, right? Like you talked about, like seeing that damaged car on the outside, and that's what I was saying. I didn't even get into the points yet, but that was a question. Like, what damaged you? What storm? What beat you down that has you needed restoring? Like, you need to know what got you where you at right now. Like, that's where it all starts at, bro. And I love how you broke that down. I also wanted to let the people know that, like, each one of these episodes that we're doing, like, we're gonna share a story out of the Bible of somebody who needed restoring, right?
Yeah.
And tonight, man, it's not our anchor verse because we don't have a verse for each one, but we have like a like I said, a story that's going through. And one of them tonight is 2 Kings 4:18 to 37, right? I don't want to read it all, but because it's like so much. But this right here is a story in the Bible about a woman who needed restoring, right? I'll start off at 18 where it says a child grew and one day he went out to his father who was with the reapers. He said to his father, my head, my head. His father told the servant, carry him to his mother. After the servant had lifted him up and carried him to his mother, the boy sat on the lap until the whole noontime, and then he died. So we're already in a messy project right now. Because before this story, the woman prayed for a son and she got told she was going to have a son. Now she has a son and the son has problems and now he just dies. We're in a messy project right now, right? So the mother goes on and, you know, she tells them to go get the servant. She does this and all that. And she goes, and her name is Elijah, right? So she tells Eliza, the mother, tells them to go find the prophet, right? And further on in the Bible, it goes to tell out that the prophet came to the bed of the boy, laid on him, neck, like cheek to cheek, body to body, and said, boy, get up. And the boy rose. Like this is a story of restoring right here. Like I said, man, hop in there, and that's 2 Kings 4:18 to 37, and just understand restoring, man. But in that whole little moment right there of how to restore, like how the restoration came about, is so good that for the boy to come back alive, it had to be close. It had to be body to body, cheek to cheek, touch to touch. In your messy project, you're going to have to be close to God for restoration. You're going to have to be body to body, cheek to cheek, hand to hand, word to word to get the restoration. Restoration in here, like to get the restoring. So like that's the story that I want to share with y'all tonight, like out of the Bible, about somebody being restored in the Bible. And like I said, we're going to go through each one of these episodes. We're going to pull out something in the Bible to go, not just in the Bible, but also like our own testimonies, in which I'm going to share one here in a minute after we get to it, bro. So, okay, now let's get to the points of this, bro. Like, let's get to the meat and potatoes, right?
Yes,
we talked about this in a past podcast, and you brought this up about like tearing up something, like you know, throwing a bomb to it and breaking the whole structure down and things like that. We talked about this in the whole Foreman series about the foundation, right? Mm-hmm. A new house is not built on a weak foundation. Nothing can be built on a weak foundation, right? For new structures to be built, they have to be built on a clear ground, right? They have to be fresh. Like a new house coming in, they're tearing down everything. If the foundation is weak, they tearing that down. You can't build new on old, weak structures, right? Marriage don't find healing on old habits or beliefs. New habits can't be formed until old habits are let go. You can't get to the truth until lies let go. So my question for you is, can you be torn down? That's point one. Can you be torn down? The restoring doesn't happen if you keep shaking your head no to being torn down. Like, if God can't tear you down, you will never be restored. There's nothing going to be happening. All you're going to be doing is continue to build and build on a shaky foundation, which we talked about before, bro. Like, I'm gonna stop right there because I know we gonna go back and forth on this, but that's point one. Can you be torn down? Like, bro.
Hey, man, I love it when God gives me these visions of your words, bro. Hey, so for all the real estate investors out there, right? Anytime, like, as a real estate investor, you want to find an old broken down home because you're going to get it at the lowest and cheapest price, right? So that the price that you get it for, you got enough room after you restore it or after repair costs, to then sell it, right? Now, to a regular person, they're going to think like, well, why would I buy a raggedy house? Well, hey, if a raggedy house is still standing, that means the structure that it was built on before is still strong enough to keep it up until somebody comes in and put their hands on it.
Okay.
God does the same thing with us. Even in the Bible, he says, in his eyes, we were filthy rags. But see, there's enough foundation in us, enough breath that he blew in us, enough of the gifts and the blessings and everything that we're ordained to do and purpose for our life for, that is in us while we're going through all this, like everything that has happened to us in life that has tore us down. There's still a strong foundation in there, so that when the person that created us can come in and restore everything, right?
That's
So
good.
when people in real estate come in, you know, they look at the cost of what it's going to take to repair everything. My question is, are you taking inventory on what is it costing you to repair everything in your life?
That's good. That's good. I like that.
See, the price for your restoration was already paid for. You getting a free and clear new build, right? So when it comes to the tearing down process, see, you have to allow God to come in and be the contractor to your life. You have to allow him to come in and say, okay, old habits of thinking about past relationships, we're gonna knock that wall down and we're gonna put up this wall of trust.
I like that. There you go.
But see, this wall of trust is built on me, not on man, right? We're gonna knock down what happened to you as a kid, and we're gonna restore it with giving you your own family. Whatever happened to you in relationship, we're gonna restore it with the right person in your life. See, this is when you allow God to come in and tear down the old walls and put in this new beautiful kitchen and lay down this new floors. And you know, it's something about an old house when a contractor that has a bigger vision than you can come in and everything. See, I like how I love this word restoration and restore. I love this word, dude, because God knows what he's doing. See, he sees the finished project. He sees what the beauty of you supposed to look like. But it's something about, and it's in the Bible. It says, knock and it shall answer, ask and it shall be given. God even said in the Bible, he won't come in unless you allow him into your house. The house is your heart. If you don't allow him in to tear things down, how can you be restored? You've been in this bad, terrible relationship for months, years, and years. You've been at this job for years and years. You've been getting beaten, all the kind of things that you've been through for years and years and years. If you don't allow God to come in and take over and knock down the walls to replace it with something else, how can you expect to move forward in life? How can you expect your life to be restored and for your true self to be shown? God is the ultimate contractor, man.
Hey, bro, man. Hey, I don't know if y'all understand, but he just made it tangible for y'all. Like, he broke that thing down to, like, if you're a realtor, you need to rethink your business right now if you're doing it wrong, bro. That was good. I wrote that one point you made in the chat, man, and it's so strong because it sticks out to me. God has a bigger vision than you. Like our ultimate craftsman has a bigger vision than we do. We see everything so small. We see it so small. I need to fix my marriage for me, and God's like, nah, you need to fix your marriage for every other marriage that's coming. Like, I need to fix my attitude so that I can get this job. Now you need to fix his attitude so you can get in the kingdom. Like,
there you go.
God sees everything so much bigger than what we see in it. Because we're only seeing like one step, and God is like, this is about to be steps so further than you that your kid, like, I mean, he said in the Bible, your generations after generations are going to even, I think what did he tell Abraham? If you look up and count the stars, that you can't even count the generations that's about to be on your name, and y'all only worried about one son. I'm about to bring you sons of sons. Oh man, like, hey, that I feel good off of that because it ties into literally what you said. And when he bring you back to the Bible, you be like, oh, that's what he means. Talking to Abraham, the vision is bigger than you. I know you and Sarah want one son. I'm about to give you so many sons that you can't even count. Like, you about to be the father of fathers, bro. Like,
man, birth of a nation, bro.
Yeah, like, that's so good, bro. That is so good. I wanted to like tie that point into two Bible verses that I found, bro, because like the point we were talking about is, can you be torn down? And Jeremiah 31:4 says, I will build you up again, and you, virgin Israel, will be rebuilt. Again, you will take up your timbrels and go out and dance with joyful. So he said, I will rebuild you. So something had to been torn down for it to get rebuilt. This is God saying, like, hey, things were torn down. That's so I can rebuild you now. And you will take it up and you will dance in joyful, right? Then Isaiah 9:10 says, the bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild them with dressed stone. Not just any stone. He said we will rebuild them with dressed stone. That word dress mean is about to be some good stone. This ain't about to be regular stone. The fig trees have been they have failed, but we will replace them with cedars. Everything that's been torn down, if you notice, when God rebuilds it, he's rebuilding it better. He said the fig trees fell, but I'm about to produce cedar. The stones might have broke, but I'm about to give you dressed stones. Like, bro, it's so good, man. Like, you got to let it be torn down. Because if you don't, like, most of us, we're sitting here crying over these temporary deaths in the world. Not like deaths of life, but like deaths that we're going through. Deaths of things that are being torn down. We're crying now, but if you don't let these things, if you don't let God tear these things down, that eternal death is going to be the worst. You're going to have a long cry if you don't let him rebuild some of these things and tear down some of these things in you. So here you go right here. Let me break it down and really sit in your house right now. So what is God tearing down so that he can rebuild? Is it your calendar? Is it your priorities? Is it your time, your finances, your desire? Like, you plug in what you want, you need to ask him to tear it down. Like, plug in whatever that may be and ask him to tear it down so that some dressed stone can be rebuilt. So some cedars can be rebuilt. I don't know if y'all know about cedar trees, but cedar trees last a long time. And they grow pretty high. See, the things that we've been growing, they capped off. And God is saying, no. I know your tree look high to you. I'm going back to what you said. I know your tree look high to you because that's your vision. That's how high you think you can go. Oh, you think all you can do is write a memoir? No. I'm about to tear that down because that's your priority. And I'm going to put a book in you. That's the cedar tree. See, he's telling you, oh, you think only you can go here as just an MA? I'm going to tear that down. See, you're going to finish off where I want you to finish off. If that's your own nursing practitioner business, that's my cedar tree I see in you. See, what I'm trying to tell you, bro, like you brought it up out of me. You are right. We only see the visions that we are. Like I said, for the entire time of my life, all I saw was the Navy. That's it. That's all I was going to be. God has been opening up to be like, you're so much more than that. You have so much more to offer everybody than just that. See, you're capping yourself off with the fig tree. Yeah, it produces, but the cedar tree where I can get you at is going to take you higher. So you can see over a lot of more things. Ah, that's so good. That's good, bro. That's good. Let's go, bro.
Hey, but it's so true, man. And if you don't understand, like, I know a lot of times we're crying over what was taken away from us, man. And that's your lack of vision. Like, it says in the Bible, the lack of vision, people perish. See, when you sitting over there worried about what God is taking away and, oh my God, I lost this man, I lost this woman, or I lost my job. And you in this lack mentality, and being in the kingdom is not about lack. We live in abundance. There is no cap to what God can do financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, come on, man. There are people with no legs that run marathons.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. You know what? All right, bro.
What are we talking about? There's no limit to what your potential. There's no limit to what God put in you. He put something in you because something greater has to come out. In order for the greater have to come out, the tearing down has to start. Those old habits have to be torn down. Old insecurities have to be torn down. Those old negative thinking, that old mouth that you have when you cussing everybody out.
Let's
go,
all
of that. The heart. Let me give y'all a quick transparency story, man. last year, I said it on this podcast. I was going through so much hell at work and in my personal life that I couldn't understand what God was doing. But see, I knew it was something about the journey that I just allowed God to come in and tear things down.
Yeah.
I got to a point, I said, God, I don't know what you're doing. I'm just going to allow you to do it. And I say yes to whatever you tearing down, taking away, or whatever. Right. And as God came in and started removing things, the thing about God, when he was tearing down things and removing things, he was teaching new things. See, he was dropping new seeds so that it can get in and flourish and regrow new things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that he can bring in better things into my life than I thought I needed back then. I thought I needed a relationship. I thought I needed this job. I thought I needed the approval of people. And God started tearing that away little by little, piece by piece. But he also, when he tore something down, he started replacing it with some better material. So now I can be on this podcast and speak from a place of grace, mercy, and truth, and tell y'all, God, when God comes in and restores things in your life, hey man, it looks so much better. Think about like people that are in the museum life, right? I don't know what you call them people, but they're in the museums. They get the old paintings, the old sculptures.
Oh, you about to dog? We about to dive in this, man.
And they got the job to, before they present it to the world, it has to be restored. And they take delicate time. They put on gloves just to touch it. See, that's the delicate hand of God, that when he comes into your life, he takes his time. He's very delicate about the things he's removing away and the things that now he's restoring with something better.
I love when God brings this plan together, bro. Okay, hey, before we cut to that, because that's literally what's coming up, I wanted to touch on something you said, man, because you were making the point of when God tears down something, he replaces it, right? Like if you think about the entire Bible from Old Testament to New Testament, God tore down the church to bring a new church. God tore down something that looked good, that had great intentions, and he brought something better. That better was Jesus. Like, I don't want to get into this right now because that's coming at the end, but don't think there's nothing that's too good that can't be torn down. Like God tore down the old church and brought a new church because it was something better that was replacing. Oh, that's good. Now let me go right into this cutaway, bro, because you tied right into what we were talking about, bro. So in the definition while I was talking about like what restore means, they had the words work of art in there, right? So I got into Google, man. I started doing my research, and I feel like I'm one of them people now who can restore art. I'm telling you. But hey, the first thing they do when they about to restore art, bro, I just learned this today.
Oh, nice.
The first thing they do is they hit it with an ultraviolet light. Now, I don't know if y'all know what an ultraviolet light is. There's been movies about ultraviolet lights. One of my favorite is Gone in 60 Seconds, right? Because if you write in a certain type of ink, you can't see it. But then if you hold an ultraviolet light to it, you can see it. There was another show where they used to like show dirty houses and people used to clean them. And then they came in with an ultraviolet light and showed everything that the eye couldn't see, but that needed cleaning. So if they do this with a work of art, it's the first thing they do is hit it with an ultraviolet light. They looking for the dirt that only this light can see.
Oh my God.
For you to get restored, you go wrong with it. For you to get restored, you gotta get hit with a light, that one light that can see that everything that no one else can see. You know what else the light brings out? It also shows where it's been restored before on the art. Now, this made me start thinking, after they do that, then they have to clean the art. So they clean it 4 times. Once they clean it with hot water. then cold water, then hot water, then the delicate hands and gloves. They clean it and clean it again. So they do this with a work of art and a dirty project, right? And then they said that the reason they do this is because the thing they're working with is a masterpiece. So do you see yourself as a masterpiece? Now, I know most of us, we don't, but I like to tell you of somebody who thinks you are a masterpiece. See, the Bible tells us in Ephesians 2:10, it literally says, for we are God's masterpiece. So we are a masterpiece, right? So my point too is this, bro. You are a valuable masterpiece. So don't just throw paint at yourself. See, the work of art, yeah, the wordplay was nasty on. Now, when I'm on my J. Cole bag. See, how they did this work of art was they could have easily just started painting again. Mm-hmm. They could have just threw paint at it. Mm-hmm. They could have painted over all the dirt. They could have did all of that stuff. But nah, they said, nah, man, we need to put this light on it because that light is going to show the dirt that really needs to go away. It's going to show where it needs to be restored again. And then after that, we need to clean it. But why do they need to clean it? I know the Bible tells us we're like filthy rags. I remember you talking about this, E. I ain't making this up, dude. You can Bible search if you want to, but the Bible calls us filthy rags that need to be what? Cleaned. Washed and washed. He washed the feet of his disciples. Why? He washed them. So they do this with a piece of art. So if they can do it with this, why don't you think God can't do it with you? That's because you don't think you're a masterpiece. That's why you just keep throwing paint on it and paint on it. Now, let me turn to the real world. That's why you keep going in relationship. That's why you keep going in a job. That's why you keep going in a lie. And lie, and the DM, and the pornography, whatever your testimony might be. That's why you keep throwing paint on it. You don't throw an ultraviolet light on it. That light is God. You don't do that. You don't clean it. You just say, you know what? I'm gonna add the color back to it. And you know what happens after time with that paint? Let somebody throw some water at it. It's gonna go right away. It's gonna wash right off.
Hey, man. See, the light of God is something else, man. See, people are scared to be exposed. And I was like that too, because I tried to be a perfectionist for some reason. I don't even know why I thought I could be, but I tried to be a perfectionist. And one thing about a person that don't want their mishaps of life exposed, what my brother just told y'all, that's what you're doing. You keep putting paint on top of something that needs a delicate process.
Oh man, that's good.
Catch what I just said. You're putting paint on something that needs a delicate process. Like when an artist is creating the paint, the strokes aren't wild. The strokes aren't like all over the place, right? You can tell the difference between an artist and a 2-year-old that's colored. It's delicate. It's precision. It's specific.
I like
God
that.
God has specific things in your life that He already put in you. And as time comes along, as you get exposed to the world, because God said to be in the world and not of the world, but sometimes we get a little lost on the journey and we become of the world. See, now it's time to put that light on it. Oh, God saying, oh, okay, I got to fix that insecurity line. Oh, I got to fix that broken relationship line. Oh, you still hurting over what your mom did to you. So let me put it up under the water, right? And in my mind, that's usually when we're getting baptized or you walking into the new nuance of God, right? Yeah. You're a new creation, right?
I like that. Let's go.
And over time, you got to be rewashed and rewashed and rewashed again. God said, be renewed in your mind because you're a new creation every day. We are a new creation because He gives us grace every day.
Oh, I gotta add to that. Yes.
So whatever you did yesterday, God already gave you grace for it. Now it's time to be a new creation. Now it's time to be renewed in your mind and your heart so that now you can come in and continue to be washed so that this masterpiece can show. It's the difference between a stick figure and somebody that can actually draw. We're the stick figure drawing people. God is God is the ultimate artist who creates the masterpiece. You are beautifully and fearfully made.
Mm.
God ain't said, man, you all right. He didn't say that. He said, you are a masterpiece. I'm telling y'all get in this word and just read what your father says about you. It's nothing less than beautiful, wonderful, love. Like, it's so many adjectives in there that you can use to how God describes it. It's now time for you to be rewatched so that you can now accept what he's saying about you.
That's good, bro. Like, hey, I gotta let y'all know, man. Like, hey, women out there, listen. Let me tell you something. If that man is calling you a two, you better let him know I'm a beautifully and wonderfully too. Like, you gotta understand, like, what God is saying. Like, hey, I don't care if people calling you ugly. Guess what? I'm beautifully and wonderfully ugly. Like, no matter what the world is telling you, God describes you as beautifully and wonderfully made. You are a masterpiece. I wanted to tie on to something because you said something and I wrote it down right here. Because you said like you got to get washed and you have to go. You got to understand, man. When they do it, you know why they work on these masterpieces and works of art so much? It's not that they do it and then they put it in the back of a warehouse or something. Yeah. They do this because it's going back on display.
Yeah.
You gotta get cleaned and worked on because we on display. You are God's work. You think God want to send you out there so somebody be like, God, that's you? Nah. Like, that's what I'm saying. You on show. Yeah, that's why you on showcase. Like, you're going out here so that you're on display. You're a walking image of your Father. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't just throw paint on this. It don't work. I'm telling you right now, it don't work. I'm telling you right now, it does not work at all. And like he said, you're going to get washed. You're going to get washed. You're going to get washed. And you're going to get washed. This ain't a process that's going to stop. But this is a messy project. Man, that's so good, bro. Another point that I was making, that I was reading into that as well, bro. Do you know that they say just for a piece of art, it takes 2 to 3 weeks depending on the piece of art to restore it? So they take it off the display wall, and depending on the piece, it takes 2 to 3 weeks. So why are you telling me this, Jamarcus? It ain't gonna be a quick process for you. If it takes 2 to 3 weeks for a piece of art, what do you think it's gonna take for a masterpiece? This process, this project, this messy project is gonna take some time. That ultraviolet light, it might get shined on you for a whole 2 to 3 weeks. You might just be under the light for 2 to 3 weeks. You ain't even start to get clean yet. All your stuff just gonna get exposed for 2 to 3 weeks. Then you might get clean for another month. And then after that, then the hands might come on you. I'm telling you this because it's a messy project, but you got to let each step take its time. If you try to rush and skip a step and skip the ultraviolet light, nothing gets exposed, nothing got torn down. All you did was add paint to it. So I got to let you know that, right? If the restoration is done correctly, another thing is, I thought, bro, this was me thinking. I thought if a piece of art was restored, then it loses value because it's not its original condition, or it's not the original thing that the artist did. But come to find out, during the restoration, or if something was restored, it doesn't decrease in value. But watch this. So as long as whoever's doing it does it precisely. So just because I've been restored, I'm still the same value. But better yet, he just told me earlier that whenever God gives me something, it's done in abundance. So you telling me if I get restored by the right person, then I don't decrease in value. Actually, I gain more value. I think you said this earlier, that whoever's doing the restore has to have delicate hands. Now, I know there's something in the Bible that talks about who is the potter's hand. And I think the only person they described was God. So God is our master craftsman, right? He's the one who's going to do what he needs to do for us. Dog, that's so good, because if you're letting the wrong people restore you, you're going to lose value. But if you got the right person who's the ultimate craftsman, who's the ultimate creator, restore you, you don't decrease, you actually gain value.
Hey, since we on this, y'all know I do business and all this. So I was sitting there listening, man, in the words of Prophet Jay-Z. He talked about it in one of his songs on the 444 album, right? So he was talking about he bought a painting for $1 million. A year later, it was worth $2 million.
Hey.
3 years later, it was worth $8 million. You gain value as you allow God to restore your life. You didn't even think you had value, but when you allow God to come in, now you know you have value. See the difference in where you were to where you are? Like, I used to think I wasn't worthy of love. I used to think I wasn't worthy of success. And then God told me that I was fearfully and wonderfully made, that he has plans for me to prosper. See, these are scriptures in the Bible that once you read it and you see, like, what God said, if God said this, he never lied. So as my life progress, God is just restoring. He's just showing me that, hey man, I love you. And everything that I said in my word comes true. I don't lie. I don't have to give you false hope. I don't have to draw you stick figures of your life, because I'm the master. I'm the masterpiece. I'm the creator of the masterpiece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, understand, like, your value goes up as God tears down the old ways of your life. Like, people will start to see you in a different light. People will start to respect you in a different light, because the light that will shine on you is coming out. Like, that light from God is way different than when somebody trying to find some dirt on you, or somebody just trying to tear you down from your past. You ever heard a person that when y'all get to talking about something, they always bring up what you used to do, who you used to be?
Of course.
She used to be a crackhead. She used to be out there in the strip club. But now she's a successful businesswoman, and nobody wants to talk about it. They just only want to talk about your past.
Yeah.
See, that's the lies of the enemy. The enemy tries to keep you where you used to be, but God tells you about your value.
That's good, bro.
Get this. I need y'all to get this. Hey, I don't know what to say on that one, bro.
Hey, like what you said was like perfect, man. Like, nobody wants to talk about like where you are now. Everybody wants to talk about like where you've been, bro. Like, all that work that went in to get you restored, they don't want to talk about that. And I think me and you were talking about that at work, right? If you like, I think like for most people, when they are restoring a car, we talk about a car in the past, we talk about this at work. Like, they have the image of the car that they have like somewhere in the garage, like on a wall or something, while they're restoring a car, because they don't want to lose sight into what they're doing. Because people are going to come into that garage and tell them, bro, like, why you working so hard to get this car restored? Just go buy a new one. Oh, that's so good. Just go get a new one. Why you working so hard to fix something? But see, that picture that's on that wall, they don't lose sight of that because they know what they're working for. That is just like what God is doing in your life. That's what you should be doing in your life as well. People are going to come and tell you, man, why are you working so hard to be brand new? Like, just go get in another relationship. Don't worry about that man that you praying for that's supposed to be coming to you. Don't worry about that job that you praying for, or that marriage, or that insecurity to go away, or that father that you've been looking for, that mother that you've been looking for. They're going to go tell you to find the easiest way to go get it. But God is going to remind you. He's going to leave that image in your head on your wall to be like, this is why the messy project is going on. Because I know you're going to lose sight of the car that we rebuilding on right now. But I got to keep this in you so you don't lose sight of this. Because this is why the work is being done. Bro, that's good right there. That's good. That's good what you just said right there, bro. Because people are going to miss it, dog. I want to stay there so bad, bro. I want to stay there so bad. Hey, but I want to get into like a part of restoration that I was Googling and that I found, man, because like I didn't know like all this goes into restoration, but hey, it do, and it's good points of it. But do you know they got 4 steps of like restoration? when they're doing stuff, right? Like anything that's being restored, they got 4 steps. It's called gutting, planning, laying a foundation, and beautification. I want to talk about 2 of these. I know, bro. The words are already good. I want to talk about 2 of these. The first one I want to talk about is gutting. We've already been talking about gutting like this entire time. But if you don't know what gutting means like removing something. Like if you gut a turkey, you're taking the insides out. Like you're taking everything out of the turkey that you're not about to eat. If you're gutting the old house, you're removing everything. You're gutting that house all the way down to bare minimum so you can work on everything that needs to be done, right? This is the painful and the slow part of restoration. This is the worst part of restoring. This is the ultraviolet light. This is people coming in your business. This is you opening up to people, telling your testimony, telling them how bad you are, telling them that you're addicted to pornography, telling them that you made mistakes in your marriage before. This is everything that you don't want to say because people are going to remind you of this every single day. It's the slow knife in your back, the part where you are vulnerable. See, when a house is being gutted, the house is vulnerable. Somebody can come tear it down. Anybody can move in. We all know, I hate to say it, I'm from the hood, but when houses are now being gutted, that's when they turn to crack houses. That's the vulnerable part right there, and this is a slow and painful part, is the gutting, right? But do you know who hands are doing the gutting? You talked about this. Do you know who hands you are in this whole part? You are in the hands of a master craftsman. You are in the hands of the best mover there is possible. You are in the hands of the one person who knows when and what and why to gut at that time. When we go into other people's lives, and I'm going to be real right now, when we go in and we think we can gut other people to help them, you know what? We go in with a selfish intention. I'm going to go in and remove what I want to remove because it's the best for me. God removes what's not best for him, but what's best for the kingdom. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. God is removing things not best for Jamarcus, not best for my wife, not best for my kids, not best for all this. He's removing things that's best for the world. He's making me better for the world. So when I walk about, it's for everyone. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Get in the hands of a good craftsman that's going to gut the right things. And if you are getting gutted by other people, you better make sure you're getting gut with them with prayer. You need to be hand in hand. We talked about it before. Restoration starts with what? Skin to skin, touch to touch. You need to be hands in hand with the people that's gutting you, with the community, bro. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you hop in real quick, bro.
Yeah. Hey, man. The gutting process, man. I love it, bro. That's like to me, man, on this journey, that's been the most fun part, man. And it's not the most prettiest part. Like,
that's good.
Like people that buying a house, they want to see the foundation that is being built, because we like to see things that are started, and then they want to see the finished product. When you get your new house, for anybody that bought a house, you didn't go back and ask the contractor what he went through in order to build your house. You didn't ask, hey, when it rained that day, what did you do? When it was hot out there and you were building on the house, what did you do?
Yeah.
See, we don't check in on that stuff because none of that is important to us. But the person that is important to is God, because those are the important things. See, without the beams in the wall, your house wouldn't stand. With that old wood in your house. Say it again. With that old wood in your house, with the termites in it, your house wouldn't stand. If God is gutting out things out of your life, it is for your own good. It is so that when he replaces, if he takes that job away from you, just know that better is coming. Like the image that I'm getting right now, I don't know if everybody's seen this picture on on social media or whatever, but there's a picture of they got as many different forms of it, but they got this picture of Jesus, right? And he's holding a bear. The little girl has a small bear.
Yeah, I seen that one.
But Jesus has a bigger bear behind him, and he's reaching out to take away the smaller things in their life to give them better. It's the same thing with us. When God is taking away things on the inside of us, that old heart that we had, that old anger that we had, those old feelings towards people that we had, you used to didn't trust nobody. You didn't care about people, right? You were selfish and only thought about you. But now he's tearing it away from you, taking you through heartaches and pain to humble you. And now you understand what it means to actually truly love and give and be there for somebody. He's restoring those things. We got to give those things away. We got to allow the gutting process to happen.
That's good, bro. Yeah, like you said, man, the gutting part, it's slow and painful, man, and you got to get through it. And like I said, man, I'm only gonna talk about two of these, but like the other one is laying a foundation, and we kind of spoke on that one earlier, and we talked about it on a past podcast. But like we said, none can be built on man, like none can be built, right? And then the other one is, of course, planning, right? Like we're gonna get into this one in another podcast, but like everything has to be planned, right? I think my brother-in-law said it one time, like, you got to plan not to sin. I think that was what he said on one of his words. Like, so, planning comes into everything, and that word right there stuck. Like, you got to plan not to sin. Like, if you're not doing that, then you're planning wrong. Like, so everything comes into planning. But, bro, the one that I wanted to get into, because this is the part where everybody has to feel it, is the beautification part. Like the beautification part, I want that to set in, that restoring is not everything all bad. Like, once the restoration is done, there's a beautification part that comes with it. Like, he already said that God has these adjectives that he uses with us: beautifully, wonderfully, abundantly. Like, beautification comes with it, bro. The old is gone, something new is standing there. It is no longer just an image. Now it's tangible. You can touch it. You can see the project is done. The mess has been cleared. Now you have everything. Now you can add. Now it's time for you to add color and decoration now. See, you done sanded everything down. You done got everything. You done clean. You done ultraviolet. You done wash. Now God's saying it's time to add color and decorations. Better yet, now it's time to add joy and peace. Let's change those words out. See, now you done got in the relationship. Now you done got in the relationship. You done cleared out everything. You done aired out everything to each other. You done laid the foundation of truth and trust. Now it's time to add color and decorations to it. Now it's time to add joy and peace to it. Love and happiness. That was a song. I believe somebody sung it. Like, it's time to add these things. Because for most of us, what we do is we just stay in 3 stages of restoration. We only do the gutting, the planning, and laying foundation. And we keep doing those 3 over and over. And we don't do the beautiful things in the restoration. We get in a relationship and we keep going in circles and these cycles. And God is telling you, hey, we done this. Now when you going to start adding color to this? When you going to get out of this color of black and start painting in the sky blue and pinks and purples? Like, when you going to get in these other colors? Like, why you want to keep painting with the same thing? I done gave you so many different hues. Let's go. Like, you gotta understand, like, this is what God is saying for us. And bro, like, I'm about to end this with this thing that I found, bro. And it's literally in the Bible on how God broke this down. And it's Ephesians 2:14 through 18. And literally what he said was, this is how God was turning 2 things into one. And we talked about how he did this with the church. He said, for Christ himself has brought peace to us. He united Jews and Gentiles into one people when his own body on the cross. He broke down the wall. He tore down the wall. I keep repeating it because I want you to know we're talking about restoration of hostility, and they separated us. He did this by ending the system of law with its commandments and regulations. So he tearing down the old church. He made peace between 2 different people, the Jews and the Gentiles, by creating in himself one new people. So he rebuilt. He tore down and then he rebuilt with one people from 2 groups together as one body. Christ reconciled both groups to God by means of his death on the cross. Towards each other was put to death. He brought this good news of peace to you, the Gentiles, who were so far away from him. Now all of us can come to Father through the same Holy Spirit. So literally, if you let this go, he tore down this wall of two different people. He brought one person, which was Jesus. That's what he rebuilt. And he said, the only way you're going to get through this is through one. See, y'all been going looking through so many different places to get restoration. I need to show y'all I can tear all that down, what's been taught, and I can teach y'all and rebuild y'all something new. Put it on the cross, let it go away, and that's the only way you're going to come through restoration. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. That's why Psalm 23 says, let him restore my soul. Like, this is why that's so big and strong right now. It's all starting to make sense now. He all had it. It was a messy project all the way in the Old Testament, and God said, you know what? This is getting too messy. I need to tear this down and clean this up. I need to go through the 4 stages. I need to gut out what has been told between these Jews and Gentiles. I need to plan this thing out. I'm gonna give it to some prophets and let them tell stories way before time. Then I need to lay the foundation, bro, all the way up, and then I need to make it beautiful. I need to put it on the cross and let it die, and then bring it back to life. Like, come on, dog. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, this is it's too easy, man. It's too easy, bro. Too easy.
Bro. Hey, bro. I don't know if y'all caught that, but he just laid the beautiful picture foundation of deliverance of your life. Like, understanding that God loves us so much that he created a simple process. Simple. He said, all right, we doing way too many things, right? People that get too many instructions, they get lost and they get stagnant, they get stuck.
Yeah.
But when it's a simple process, if I gave, because I think the word is called blueprint. He gave us a blueprint, right? And the blueprint was given to the ultimate carpenter, who was Jesus. Jesus was a carpenter. Since we're talking about restoration and rebuilding, Jesus was a carpenter. That was his purpose. And one thing about carpenters, they go to the next project, fix what is wrong, and then they move on. There's a process of tearing it down, right? Restoring, and then beautification. It's the same process. God did that. Jesus did that as he walked his journey. He's showing you the process of restoration. He restored sight to the man that was blind. He restored the ability to walk to the lame. He restored what the world said about the lady that was everybody's wife. Restore her to say, hey, you are a daughter of the true highest God. He walked the journey of restoration. That's all the Bible is talking about. Restoration. If you feel like you're stuck in your life right now, that you done so much wrong that God can't heal you, just know if you allow the master to come in and create a masterpiece, your life will be restored. You're going to come out looking so brand new that people not even going to recognize. It's something about the moment they saw you buy that old car, and then when you restored it, they be like, hey, man, where you bought that from? That's the one I bought. I restored it, and now it look. This what it looked like. See, now they can see the vision. See, you are the tangible walking miracle that your purpose is to walk this journey and tell your testimony. Tell the world how God came into your life and tore down old things that kept you bound, old things that kept you in bondage. I was in bondages of past relationships. I was in bondage of failure. I was in bondage of not feeling worthy. And then I allowed God to come in and restore. And now I know my worth. I'm valuable. I am priceless. I'm a son of the Most High God.
Hey, say that again, bro.
I'm a son of the Most High God. He said that I can be in the kingdom and I'm royalty. It's my inheritance. But until you allow God to come in and tear down all that old stuff, and just like the title of this podcast, the messy is not going to be beautiful. But there is a time when the beautification happens.
Yeah.
I just broke that down to you. When the beautification happens, joy, peace, love, all that can be it, man, it's so great, man. It's so great.
bro.
Like, whew,
That's good, bro. That's good. Hey, I wanna like touch into something you said, because you said that like it's what God is like giving us, right? Like you said, you're the son of the most high. I need to let y'all know before we end on this podcast that it's even bigger than what E is saying right now, because it's a promise. He
man.
promised us restoration. Job 2:25-26 says, I will repay you for the years of the locusts have eaten, the
Mm,
great locust and the young locust, and the other locust, and the locust swarm. He named every locust. Every locust he named. Now, I know you're reading locust, but what he's saying is any and every bad thing, he
mm,
says, I will repay you for the years, right? My great army that I sent among you, you will have plenty to eat until you are full, and you will praise the name of the Lord your God, who has worked wonders for you, and never again will my people be shamed. Like, let me say that again.
say
So
that
God
again.
is telling me, I'm gonna break it down to Jamarcus terms. God said, hey, all that bad that came in your life, the new, the old, the young, the fresh, the ugly, the ugly bad, the good bad, the whatever bad, I'm gonna repay you for that. See, he didn't have to, but he's repaying me. Then he says, he's going to repay you so bad that you will have plenty to eat, not just enough, but so much that you're going to get full. That's that word abundantly again, right? And then
Mm,
he said, it's not because you doing it, it's because the Lord God who's working for me, my craftsman, the one who has the delicate hands, and he's going to do it so good that you will never be shamed again.
mm.
They won't even remember the old car.
Oh my
It's
God.
just gonna turn heads when you hit the street.
Mm, mm,
They not even gonna remember the old you. They just gonna turn heads when they see the new you. Not because of what you done, because of what God has done in you and for you. Man, if I tell you right now, if you ain't got nothing out of tonight, know that it is a promise that you will be restored. If anything means anything, know that God said, when you come to me and become a soldier of my army, you are restored, because I'm promising you. And my God don't break promises. Man,
mm.
that's good right there, dude.
Yes, and an
That's
amen
good.
at all times. Man, that was so good.
That's good, bro.
Hey, man, if y'all ain't getting nothing out of tonight, this is just the beginning, man. Like, we gave y'all the process. You got to be gutted. There's some planning that has to be done. We got to lay this foundation, and the beautification, it will take place.
That's
I'm
good,
telling
man.
y'all, when you get to that point of your life, and you could be there now, you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Everything looks bad. Just know you're right where you need to be. Just allow God to come in and tear things down. Let Him take over. You've been trying to fix your house for the longest, and you've been messing it up, messing it up, messing it up.
No,
Let
dang
God,
well, you can't decorate.
man. I look. I know personally, I'm not a person that's an interior decorator. Nah, not my specialty. So I'm gonna allow the person that knows how to do it and has the eye for it, that can see the vision and the end result. I'm
Mm,
gonna allow them to do it. So God is wanting to do the same thing. Just let Him in. Hey, if you don't even know God, you just come in an encounter with God. All you have to do is just believe that Jesus died for you and you're saved. Like, you're saved by grace. It's
mm.
free. It's
Oh, that's
free.
good.
You ain't got to do nothing for it. It's free. All you got to do is just say yes. So I don't know, bro. We never really do that at the end, but somebody needed that. And I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all, man, the restoration process is so beautiful. Um, man, to see the new things that God does in your life, and when you look back, it it won't even look the same. You won't even believe where you used to be. Telling y'all, hey, it's a beautiful thing. So, hey, if you out there, thank you for listening. If y'all down on YouTube, you just get coming into seeing this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button,
Yes,
smash
yes,
the
sir.
bell so you can get all the up-to-date videos. If you're on Facebook, subscribe, like the page, like the Bro Talk page, like the video, share it with anybody that needs this word. You out there on the podcast, hearing it from any streaming station or Helium Radio, Spotify, wherever. Share it with somebody, man, because this is what we have to do. We have to share this word with everybody.
Hey,
Somebody.
big facts, man. We're trying to make Bro Talk Nation as big as anything can go. We trying to pull in people to come on here with prayers. We're trying to make prayer teams. We're trying to get this thing big so that the world can hear good news, man. So that's what we're trying to do. So we appreciate everybody who clocks in daily with us, man, who sends messages. We greatly appreciate it. We know God is just sending people our ways, man. So get out there, subscribe, share as much as possible. Get on people's nerves with it because we do, but we know that God is doing good things, man. E, thank you for that ending part, man, because you're all right. We never do it, but man, thank you for that, man. That was good, bro.
It had to be done, brother. Hey, Bro Talk Nation, it's been great.
Yes, sir.
See you on the next one. Be blessed.